I can't believe I'm saying this, I've never done this before, but yes, I pulled something out of the garbage can in order to build this interior brick wall in my house. I built this custom interior brick wall using a saw that I found in the garbage.
It was not in the garbage, it was above the garbage, hovering like an angel.
Let me show you how I did it. When I saw this old masonry saw right on top of a pile of trash, I plugged it in, it fired right up, and I thought, I am gonna use this thing. It was well loved, but I thought this has one more big project in it. And it turns out it did. So today I'm gonna show you how I turned this very boring, very builder grade wall into kind of this custom high-end brick statement wall using thin brick, a whole lot of mortar and a whole lot of cuts, and only one slightly questionable trash rescued tool. Okay, so why did I choose this wall? If you've been around this channel, you'll know that we have an account called Functional Decor. And the whole point behind Functional Decor is that I want to make my house feel functional while also beautiful. I want our house to look a little bit less builder's grade and a little bit more custom. We have this wall off of our kitchen where we've always hung our pots and pans for many years. It actually started way back when we were watching a movie called Julie and Julia. I love how Julia Child hung her pans right on the wall. We believe that your practical items can also be used as decoration, kind of like we do for our cups, our shelves, and a lot of other things in our house. This wall needed a little bit more character, so we decided let's brick it. Not only let's brick it, but let's herringbone brick it. Let's go full fishbone pattern and make this thing a feature wall in our house. The first step, we pulled everything off the wall, we took the measurements, and we headed to Floor & Decor. We found these herringbone brick sheets for about $10.28 per square foot, and we grabbed enough for the job, plus a ton of adhesive and grout. Not the pre-mixed stuff, but the powder that we put into a Homer bucket and mix it up ourselves. We loaded it into our SUV and we were committed. But before doing anything else, we like to let the kids go wild on the wall with Sharpies and paint or whatever, drawing right on the wall, because we're gonna cover it all up and why not have a little bit of fun. Once the walls were sufficiently drawn on and painted on, messed up, we cleaned it off and we got to work. A question that I've gotten is, can you apply thin brick directly to drywall? Yeah, you totally can. Drywall is strong enough for thin brick and the weight transfers down the wall as long as you build from the bottom up. I kept my baseboards in place because they created a nice clean border at the bottom and a nice level starting point. I used my long level and a Sharpie to mark vertical lines just to keep that herringbone pattern straight. Then I got my Homer bucket from Home Depot and I mixed up my mortar, my adhesive mix, until it was about a peanut butter-like consistency. I started with the big open sections of wall and they went up pretty fast. These bricks are on sheets and my strategy was to get the major sheets installed first and not worry about any cuts until later. So for each sheet, I would hold it up on the wall and I would use a Sharpie to trace the outline. And then I would trowel on the adhesive just where I needed it, just for that one sheet, and then pressing the sheet into the adhesive till it was firmly in place. Sheet after sheet, before long, a big chunk of this major wall was already up and it was looking great. But now was my moment of truth, using my trash saw. It was time. I got to the corners, the edges, the trim pieces, the curves, and I finally pulled out that used, garbage salvaged masonry saw.
Here's our trash saw. Let's get it cleaned up, see what this thing can do.
Now I've rented a wet saw from Home Depot many times and I thought I can do that again, but this thing worked like an absolute charm and I didn't even replace the blade.
Take a look at this gorgeous thing. We got it all cleaned up. Let's try it out.
My process was simple. I would mark the cuts that I needed with a Sharpie, and then I would dip the brick in water so that it didn't shatter with the saw. I would make super controlled cuts, and then I would butter the back of those bricks with adhesive and lay those up. To be honest, I just eyeballed most of my spacing. But in places where the bricks had the tendency to sag, I would cut little 1/2-inch pieces of plywood stick to just use as spacers. I probably made hundreds, maybe thousands of these little cuts, especially along these corners, along the trim, the molding, the ceiling, and the floor. I wanted everything to look consistent. This is where the job slowed down and the frustration set in. Cue the classic DIY moment every project. I say, why did I do this? Why did I start this project? I'm never gonna finish it. But finish, I did. Once all the brick was up, I switched to grouting. I used these large grout bags, which are basically like giant cake decorating piping bags, to squeeze the grout into the joints, and you let it sit for about 30 to 40 minutes. After that, you have a grout tool or your just finger with a glove, and you smooth out the grout to where it looks really clean and nice. I'll be honest, I let the grout sit too long a couple of times, and it got way too hard. A couple of times I didn't wait long enough, and it was way too wet. But overall, it really turned out great. Once it dried, then you use a brush, a nice strong brush, to just brush the whole thing and make sure that any excess grout falls off onto the floor. After the wall was cured, it was time to rehang those pots and pans. I tried using adhesive hooks that I bought on Amazon, and those worked great for the lighter pans and still do. But for the heavier pans, nope. Gravity wins and they fell off the wall. So for those ones, I used a Masonry drill bit to drill right through the brick and through the drywall, and then I used snap toggle bolts so that the hooks were anchored into the wall structure very strong. Those pans are going nowhere. All right, budget breakdown. Thin brick, about $1,600. Mortar and grout, probably $90. Tools, free, garbage saw. Total, about $1,700. And yes, it took me about 3 days of full work, actual work to finish this off. And here it is. Honestly, we love our brick wall. It was expensive, it was a ton of work, but it also completely transformed our space. It makes our home feel more custom, more high-end, and just different from every other house on the street. Would I do it again? Not only would I, but I will. I already have my eye on that wall over there. As always, thank you for watching. It means the world to me, and we'll see you in the next project.